I'm going to tell you something that a lot of the people who I'm close with in my life don't know. When I was in college, I thought about taking my own life. I've mentioned in other videos that I struggle with depression, and I know how isolating that feeling can be. I also know that social media can feel and is generally pretty fake, and I post a lot of really positive videos about my life. And I think it's important to share about the harder stuff too. For as long as I can remember, I have been a people pleaser. For example, in elementary school, one of my friends was also my bully. She treated me horribly, and I continued to spend time with her both in school and outside of school. I can remember feeling like if someone didn't like me or if someone treated me badly, it was because something was wrong with me, that I was the problem. I needed to change to become more likable. I turned into a very quiet and reserved kid. I grew up with low self esteem, high anxiety, depression as a result of that anxiety, and just not having a great grasp of my own personal identity. When I finally entered into college, rather than having fun and forming friendships, I became really reclusive instead. I think probably only like a couple of people from my graduating class even remember that I was there. I poured all of my focus into school, and while I did really well in school, I was incredibly deeply lonely. That feeling of loneliness will stick with me for the rest of my life. I thought that being anxious and being stressed out all the time was something that everyone dealt with, and that I personally just wasn't very good at managing it. And at a certain point, I became so lonely and so depressed that I began to have thoughts of ending my life. I was exhausted. Luckily, my family intervened. At that time, I started therapy, I got on medication, and it helped me through the major lows that I was experiencing. However, I was still kind of white knuckling it through my life. And it wasn't until I hit my 30s and became a mom that I started unpacking a lot of this. For the first time in my life, I am finally starting to really feel like me. I'm happy to make a video on what I'm currently doing to manage my depression and anxiety because it's always there for me. But I mostly want to make this video just to say if you are struggling with your mental health, you're not alone. And if you're struggling with the dark thoughts that I have throughout my life, I hope you stay. I hope you talk to somebody, and I hope you stay. I'm really glad that I stayed. Never thought that this kind of life would be waiting for me. And every day I'm grateful for it, even when things are hard. And I promise I am feeling a lot better. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.